Nigerian singer Oluwagbemiga Babalola, better known as Bigiano, has identified his biggest career regret as refusing Don Jazzy's offer to join his now-defunct record label Mohit Records. Now, Bigiano made this revelation in a recent interview, recounting his consideration in making the decision. The Shayo hitmaker explained that if he got another chance, he would accept the opportunity to join the now-defunct record label that Don Jazzy and the band co-founded. The singer explained that he was made the offer when the band, with whom he had a close relationship, invited him to Mohit house at the peak of his career. According to Bigiano, Don Jazzy personally asked him if he wanted to join the label, but he turned down the opportunity. Reflecting on the decision, the 44-year-old admitted that joining Mohit could have transformed his career. When Shayo was at his prime, the band is my brother and friend. He introduced me and handed me over to Sunday in 2010, and then they invited me to the house. Banco took me to the house, he said. We got to the house and Don Jazzy asked me, would you want to join the Mohit? Instead of me to say yes, and yes, the little man felt like I have made music that was going viral and becoming popular. Had Independent invited me to shows, I had Independent and they invited him to shows. In my head, I said yes. If I said yes, I will now be in the house with Wande Cole, Dr. Seed, and I will not be able to go out to shows on my own. I said no, but they should push me out as their artist, as we have been. That would have been a big turnaround for my career, because at that point, everybody in the house showed me love. Don Jazzy likes me and shows me love all the time. The bunch was the same thing. That one is my brother. I should have just said yes. It should have just been Wandeko and Bigiano under Mohit. You know, sometimes something like that would be a serious problem for this world, he said. Because after that year that Wandeko dropped Mushin album, I said I now have the biggest competitor. I asked myself how I was going to tackle the album then. Me that I have been struggling since. They gave me blank check. Instead of me to say yes, I said no. Bigiano is making that revelation. Now you see, this is a case that is synonymous with a lot of young people. Yeah. Now when you drop songs, you drop a hit, so to speak, you are everywhere. They are calling you. This person is calling you. Your attention is needed everywhere. Now he's saying that not joining Mohit, like seeing a blank check given to him, is like the biggest mistake he has made in his life. What do you have to say about this particular matter, and narrowing it down to young ones who are trying to find their feet in the entertainment industry and the entertainment world? What would you advise them? First off, what's your take on this particular story, and possibly advice you want to give to young ones?
Okay, I will read through the story, and one major stuff I got was that decision was made during his prime. You know, during the prime of one's life, that usually used to be a very sensitive time. As a man has his prime,
yeah,
and as a lady also too. A lady has a prime, and the decisions that have been made during this period try to be a major decision that decides the trajectory of their life going forward.
Yeah.
Now he is regretting why he made such decisions, and it's understandable, because one thing is when fame comes, money comes, opportunity comes, you end up not being able to make decisions based on priorities.
Okay.
And most times by that time you might not be able to see the projections behind every prospect.
Okay.
You can't, at that point, most times most young people are not able to analyze some opportunities that comes their way. Like for example, some persons just feel that getting such opportunity, they will appreciate it more if it's coming from outside, or if it is something that they've struggled to get. You understand? So that coming to him on a platter of gold, he didn't ask anything. We all know, I for personally, Don Jazzy is one of the persons I respect and value when it comes to talent management. Yeah, basically he has done very well.
He does it very well, actually.
He has done very well in the industries, and I so much admire the talents he has managed. So this was an opportunity for Bigiano. I think I should remember that song. Then I was still young. I think all of
I had to go listen to that song again because the song was a vibe that year. If you know go feel to like to come to my party, make and imagine that song blowing up this guy, and imagine Don Jazzy managing him. Where do you think his career would have been at this point in time?
Definitely, it doesn't have to speak. Even if by now he wouldn't have been standing with Don Jazzy, you understand? But at least his a legacy would have built through the vehicle of the name Don Jazzy. So I think that was an opportunity for him which wasn't managed well. And I think he is saying this as a guide to upcoming artists, entertainers. One of the problems is once fame comes, now we're in social media, once you have 5K likes, you have 10K followers, and this is so you feel you've arrived. You feel you've arrived, and the human potential is elastic, and it can't be exhausted till you leave this planet. So that is the reason why it is always good for one not to joke with such opportunities. What I'm going to advise young persons is when you get to that stage, when opportunities are coming here and there, at that point, it first starts with you, the value systems that you've built. Because one that has a value system already will have a way of making certain decisions, but one that doesn't have a value system takes any stuff that comes to him, you understand? And one of the stuff that, if I were him, is that the human nature has a way of functioning well when it is under supervision, or when it is being controlled by this. That is why no matter how high someone gets to, you have a boss. You have a boss. No matter how it is, you have a business, you're not on your own, you're doing things by yourself, but your investors are your boss whenever they call you. So that system of putting people in place to help manage you, because of their areas of you, your strengths that you are not visible to you, but having that external body, which I know Don Jazzy was good with, would have helped him.
Now we see people who want to be independent. They want to be free. Is independent you not having somebody to guide you, like a boss, like you mentioned rightly? Is independence not having a boss, so to speak?
You know, I'm going to just use two basic examples. One, they normally say a car without a brake
will crash.
It simply means that there is a reason for the brake being there to regulate the accelerator. So as you move in life with speed, you definitely need that brake, because of speed comes with ecstasy. It comes with emotions that makes you get carried away.
With thrills.
Yeah, just like when someone gets high and he's driving. There has to be someone that is there to be able to put that brake. If not, what ends up becoming soothing to the soul, bringing happiness to the soul, ends up destroying
the soul.
As one. And independence is good, but the more independent you are, the more responsibility comes on you. That is why you notice children are not independent, so the responsibilities of the children are always on the parents. But the more a child grows and begins to ask for independence, the more responsibility
he gets.
You're getting the point.
Yeah.
But those that do want to last long when it comes to relevance, because they just don't want to blow and calm down. They want to grow and maintain this. Those people deliberately put, even if they are not their own boss, they put regulators around them. I'm just going to conclude this. The banking sector as an institution that regulates the bank, the insurance sector, the business sector, government sector, they have sectors that regulate them. Because when you don't have those bodies that regulate, things end up being damaged. So as a young person, getting a mentor, getting a boss, getting someone that can be able to bring you to order.
Yeah.
Because at the level of success you're going to hit, stubbornness comes in. You will not want to listen to anybody.
Pride. Your
comes
shoulder will be high.
Yes. Your ego, the showbiz that is already up, fans trolling over you and the rest. You need that
guide,
regulation.
that sort of wisdom that tells you, oh boy, not all that glitters are gold. Now your shoulder is high because you feel you have arrived.
You see, that's one reason why I said I love the way Don Jazzy manages
his artists.
Like, for example, I so much love Johnny Dre.
Johnny, my man.
Yes, I so much love Johnny Dre. So I love his relationship with Johnny Dre, and I've seen for years how Johnny himself maintains that relationship, and I've seen, and he's focused. He knows his own genre of music, and he stays on that. He doesn't deviate, and he has his audience.
Actually.
And he has been consistent. And I've seen him being consistent and not just fading out all of a sudden. So that's one basic thing I think young artists and entertainers need to learn.
One, I think what I've picked from this conversation is get somebody over you to oversee you, and also bringing it down to Johnny Drill now, know your sound, know your genre of music, and stay on it and stay consistent on it. I'm sure you are picking a thing or two from the wise Emmanuel Watchman. Yes, Emmanuel Watchman is giving us one or two senses from this particular conversation, and if you are listening to this conversation, I'm sure you have learned a thing or two. Please leave a comment in the comment section using the hashtag ATNGents, and also tagging Emmanuel Watchman on this particular comment. Thank you so much, Emmanuel Watchman. Now, your final advice. Now, some people get into record labels, and at the end of the day, they have issues with this record label management, because they feel, okay, these people now would use me, they will make money off me, and they will give me peanuts. Why not go do my thing my own way and struggle? I know a lot because of where I am and what I do. I meet a lot of young artists, recording artists, performing artists. I go to events and I meet them. They come and do their thing. yes, but they are struggling. You see them, they are passionately trying to do things on their own. So this set of people don't want to get into record labels because of the issues. We have one going on in the gospel space. Yeah, that's the messaging one, Easy T. We have seen, even in the secular space, we have also seen such things happen. Now these guys don't want to get into this sort of space because of these issues. How would you advise somebody in this particular condition now?
Okay, before I came here, normally I'm one that is given to reading.
Okay.
So I was reading a book, starts with why.
Starts with why?
Yeah.
Okay, I might come and borrow it. I'll not come and borrow it, I'm coming to carry it.
Okay. So mostly those that know why will always have the edge over those that know what. Now, the difference between the record label is they know why. You have a talent. You know you have a talent. I'm a good rap artist. I'm a good recording artist.
Okay.
I'm a good performing artist. You know. But they are looking for something, and that is the why. And it is that why that they have that makes them promote what you're doing. So it is this knowledge of the why that promotes the what.
Okay.
So most times, most persons know what to do. That is why you see that most persons are skilled. But the person that knows the why behind their skills is the one that always end up being a boss to them.
Okay.
Are you getting my point? And end up using that skill that they have to generate something. So it is one thing to recognize talent, but one thing to know. Like you mentioned, Messi Chinwo and Easy T. Easy T met her a particular reason, and she was a talent. She knew. But Easy T knows the why. And with that his knowledge of the why, he was able to realize a lot of cash.
And make money out of it.
Make money out of it. Now to get to the point is there are stages in life, and it is necessary that you just have to pass that stage. The second statement I would say on that statement of then being used is you have to be useful for you to be used.
No, this sounds funny, but you'd have to explain. You have to explain this. You'd have to be useful for you to be used.
Yes.
Because why not do my thing on myself and not allow anybody use me?
You have to be useful for you to be used. Because if you don't have something beneficial, nobody will use you. And if you are not being used, you might not be noticed. Are you getting my point? Yeah. So most times the mistake people do is they try to bring themselves to the level where they feel that they are being used. And from what I said earlier, the reason why that record label or that manager is using you to some extent is because of he knows the importance, he knows the why. You understand? You just know what you have. You understand? That is why Easy T could look at Messi Chinwo, you understand, and could say, I can make millions with this talent. I don't know you're getting my point.
Yes, I'm getting you.
So that is the reason why, for example, we have doctors that went to medical school and they know the what behind medicine. But if any of them among the doctors knows the why, which is the business aspect of medicine, they will make more money. Like someone we normally know, Save Your Life Foundation.
Yeah.
He's a doctor. But to some extent, he knows the why. A Aproko doctor. is a doctor. To some extent, he knows the why. So once you move out from that distance, that you know the what, then you now know the why. Then knowing the why helps you to build systems, to build structures that multiplies the dividends of that stuff that you have to get money. But she was blew through that. I think I'm trying to remember the album.
Okay, the first
Too much Jesus, you love me.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that is why I will still give kudos to ECT. I'm not supporting this or that, but a time came, she was able to know the why. He was able to help us see the why. And they have their issues and the rest. I don't have to say anything in that. You understand? But just to explain that there are stages as you grow. As you grow. So is like they say, it is better to be the leg of an elephant than to be the head of an ant. So most times, instead of struggling, most stages will pass if you just attach yourself to a system that will help you. And it might not be for long. You just stay there for a particular period of time to gain some experience. That is why it is always known that employees end up becoming good entrepreneurs, because they have worked in organizations that work with systems and structures. That the same business that someone is doing on the roadside, they need to structure it to give a relevance to their brand and the logo. Same thing, someone is buying close to the kiosk man or woman, and immediately a market square opens. You will want to go to the market square and pick something and hold the nylon bag for people to
see where he's coming from.
And but the same thing he got from market square is the same stuff that
the woman in the kiosk is selling.
Are you getting my point? So it's just for you to, and there's nothing bad if you end up as a leg to an elephant than ending up as the end of an ant.